$289 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX, $399 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. I'd like to wish you a happy holiday season and a healthy and prosperous new year from your favorite lawyers at Welt and Rayom.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You made it. It is Friday, boys and girls, and welcome aboard. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're taking advantage of the dip. Anyway, lots of stuff to talk about today on the show. We got several Dolphin topics to talk about. Maybe even something that, I don't know, turn a negative into a positive, that kind of stuff. So to a certain extent, but we could do that actually. But it's something that has been ugly can turn positive. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about someone that doesn't ever really get it. You could probably figure that one out on your own. And then we've got some other stuff going on. I did not watch the game yesterday. I could tell that Herbert threw an interception because my phone rings up whenever he makes a mistake. Specifically, Lisa. I don't know if she's on the chat right now, but Lisa sent me, Herbert just threw an interception, something like that, and I just sent her like a haha because I did not watch anything yesterday, not sports wise, so it was just kind of funny yesterday with that. But I didn't watch the game. Apparently, Chargers won against the Broncos. I did see the highlights this morning. Herbert did throw that terrific pass where he was going to the left and got it off into the end zone. That was actually a really nice pass. So did not watch the game yesterday. Both are 9-6. There was no basketball. There was no hockey last night. I just kind of relaxed with the wife and just kind of chilled out, basically. That's what I did yesterday. I didn't really watch. There was just I really had no interest. It's just the Dolphins season has kind of ended my football season. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching the rest of the NFL, but it's kind of very half-ass. You know what I mean? Now that I know my boys are, useless, it's tough. I got to admit, it's the rest of the football season is tough to deal with right now for me as a Dolphins fan. So we got some stuff to talk about today on the show. Manny Navarro will join us at 11 o'clock. So we'll have a little fun with Manny. And we'll talk several things with the Canes and college football. And, of course, we'll not only get our Canes were Miami Hurricanes report, but we'll also get our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report, which that's always very, very important. Don't forget, folks, many ways to support the show. First and foremost, hit the hell out of that like button. Please hit the like button. Very important that you hit the like button. We'd appreciate that immensely. And also, if you want to make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation also. And you can make a donation through PayPal too. And perfect time to make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation with a nice, sweet ass dip. So that's always a beautiful thing, and we always appreciate that. And of course, visit our amazing sponsors like Welt and Rayom, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. I was just going back and forth with Jeff Welt this morning. He was reacting off of a post I had about Brock Purdy, who bought Toyota trucks for all of his linemen. We'll get into that story. So Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, of course, proud sponsors of our program. And if you need great lawyers, Jeff and Daniel are the guys you want to call. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. And, of course, they sponsor David Furones and our Miami Dolphins report. And on Sunday, we'll talk to David post-game. Hopefully, we'll talk about a win and something positive in our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report. But if you need lawyers that you could count on, because nowadays the new laws that have been put in place favor the insurance companies, not us. So make sure you have proper representation. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Oscar Rojas is in Melbourne, number 1. Kyle Cockrow. All right, he says, don't panic about crypto, people. This is all supposed to happen. The good thing is I like the panic. I love it. I love that people, dump and sell. That's fine with me, man. You want to lower prices and you want me to get a little extra XRP cheaper, or a little Polis cheaper, or maybe I want to stash a little more Solana and stake it, or buy a little bit more Bitcoin. I'm fine, dude. I got more Neutron this morning. I'm good. You know what I mean? If people want to panic, I'm not changing my mind on what's going on. I haven't. These numbers aren't even the lowest that I've bought, so and I still, took a little dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. Got a color TV so I can see the next play basketball. So, I'm going to continue. So hell yeah. Buy the dip, hodl, and make even more profits as it explodes. So NorCal is in the house. One-Eyed Jack. Now you do what you want to do and do your homework. One-Eyed Jack is in. I'm debating if I should buy one full ETH coin in this dip. Thoughts? Yeah. Trump bought 5.5 million of ETH yesterday. You do what you want. The guy that's going to run the country for the next 4 years, the guy that has control in the Senate and the House, the guy that's put a complete staff in place that's all pro crypto, the guy that has a shit ton in billions of ETH, you decide. You decide what you think he's going to do. I had ETH way before he even knew what ETH was. Okay? He's a Johnny come lately. We got the orangutan on the bandwagon over the last 6 months, right? Because he started selling NFTs and all that kind of stuff. And he saw, and he got Ethereum when he was selling a lot of that stuff when it was down in 2,000, 2,200, 2,500, and it's gone up ever since. So he's watched it all grow, and it's going to grow even more. I don't know. What do you think? I'm just saying. Again, I don't care about the politics. I say it all the time. The left or the right, I don't care about either. I don't like either. All right? I don't vote for either. I don't root for either. I'm not a fan of either. Nothing. All right? I'm a fan of my wallet, my cold storage wallet. And just like I was complaining about the last 4 years with that guy because he was doing everything possible to kill it, well, guess what? Now, for us crypto people, whether you like the guy or not, he's going to be pro-crypto. Because the party is all pro-crypto. The party was way pro-crypto before he was even in it. Now you've got the guy that takes the office, pro-crypto. And not only is he pro-crypto, he is overflowing with ETH. He has billions in ETH. He has nearly $6 billion of ETH. What do you think he's going to do? I don't know. I don't know. You know, just 1 and 1 is 2. That's all I can tell you. Steve Chapman is in the house. Jeff is in Long Island. Ray Sosers, Alex Palenzuela, Brian Landis, Horn Dog, Luis Benito, Timothy Eason, Cosa Nostra, Karen Landis, Alex Palenzuela. The Usher concert was amazing last night. Nice. He's a hell of a performer. So you're going to see singing and then choreography and dance and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm sure the women's was hot and heavy last night. They were all screaming, I'm sure. Let's see. What else do we have? Anthony Kyle Campos, Josh. Yeah, I know. Inter Miami. We'll get to that. It's just, Skylar Tipton, Frankie Fresco. Let's see. Mike Suarez. Big O ranked them. Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, or Tua. Only one of them has been in the MVP race. End of story. Let's see. Only one has led the league in passing. End of story. Only one leads the league in completion percentage. End of story. Only one has won a national championship. End of story. I don't know. What else you got for me? Ty is in the Bronx. Chase. When those other two guys accomplish something, check back with me. Check back with me when they actually accomplish something. You know what I mean? At least I give them credit. They probably have a better coach. And so that's a good thing, at least. Lisa Rose is in the house. Magnus, Riverside Train, Let's see. That's easy characteristic to answer. They haven't had 40 years outstanding play on both sides of the ball. Yeah, well, we already talked about that. I already talked about how they've been complete wussies for 40 years. Everything about the Dolphins has been soft for 40 years. And they've done a lot of things wrong for 40 years. But there's a characteristic that's special about why they've also been what they've been for 40 years. Magnus, only one. We have the incompetent coach. Yeah. I'm not necessarily the biggest Jim Harbaugh guy, but he's better than Mike McDaniel. I mean, that's not much. You know what I'm saying? And definitely Sean Payton is way better than Mike McDaniel. I mean, Jesus. Again. But, I think the fact that Sean Payton had like 5 losing seasons with Drew Brees and 2 500 seasons and then the whole what gate was it called? What was that gate called? QB gate or something or something gate like it was like a something like when you a bounty gate. It was bounty gate. Why do I have to remember all this stupid shit? Bounty gate. So he had a lot of stupid shit go on also throughout his tenure there in New Orleans. But overall, better than McDaniel. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You had a franchise quarterback, but you had 5 losing seasons. So, but again, better than Mike McDaniel. I will give them that. I will give them that. Anyway, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? We will have Manny Navarro on, and he'll join us at 11 o'clock. I was thinking about this, and we've talked a little bit about this, right? How bad does it look for Mario Cristobal right now? I mean, this is like a really bad look for Mario Cristobal. He's 3 years in. He hasn't accomplished jack shit. Okay? He's gotten better recruits, but he hasn't won anything significant for 3 years. They're slightly better of a program, but again, any significant wins? No. They choke. They get pushed around. They're still inconsistent. They're still undisciplined. The improvement, what is it, like the 1 year that Mark Richt won 10 games? Is that what we're talking about? Like, you had your Notre Dame moment. So you had your Florida moment or something. And you got lucky. You played Florida at a time when they didn't have the youngster back there, So just it's think about it. And yet Dan Lanning went to Oregon and made them better. And is doing it a lot with his own guys, by the way. Because most of the best players the last 2 years are guys that he brought in, NIL and stuff like that. It's not like he's living off of, Mario's recruits or anything. And he did better than Mario ever did at Oregon. For a couple of years now, he's been better than Mario. He's the number 1 team in the country, something Mario could never accomplish at Oregon. And here, give me a break. Number 1, undefeated. It's pretty impressive. It's a bad look for Mario, dude, because he has more resources here at the University of Miami than any coach in Coral Gables history. Not Jimmy, not Howard, not Butch, not Coker, no one, not Mark Richt. No one has had the resources that Mario Cristobal has had. None. And yet, he hasn't done much better than what you've been the last 20 years. You're the same weak-ass program that really can't win anything. It really hasn't made much improvements. The 10 wins are kind of hollow because, really, come on, you're in a fraudulent conference, kind of proved who you are down the stretch. You know, we'll see if you can even beat Iowa State. So it's a bad look right now for Mario Cristobal. Oregon pulled a Tyreek Hill. Yeah, we had success with you, but we can be better without you, bro. You're not the reason why we are what we are. Yeah, nice job by you, but we can be better. Kansas City Chiefs have gone on to win 2 straight Super Bowls. Tyreek Hill can't even get out of the first round. Tyreek Hill is getting manhandled by corners all the time. By Kansas City corners, too, by the way. Just to add insult to injury, Tyreek Hill chokes against Kansas City. Gives away the game last year. The first game against Kansas City, he gave it away. Mario Cristobal. Sure, Mario, you want to go to Miami? Go ahead. We'll take the buyout money. We'll go get ourselves a better coach because, we've provided everything for you and you really, you did some stuff, but anything special for Oregon? No, because for years, the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-8, whatever it's been for years, all the way dating back to USC and Matt Leinart, they haven't been shit as a conference. Nobody accomplishes anything. It's a soft conference. It never does anything. And Mario, you were part of that. That's why your final year, you got trucked by Utah twice. But Dan Lanning comes in and does what you could never do. Kind of proving that you were given all the resources in Oregon and you didn't get it done. You had every resource possible in Oregon. Before Miami, in Oregon, you have way better resources. You have anything and everything you could ever possibly need in Oregon. And you couldn't do what Dan Lanning did. That's a real bad look for our boy Mario Cristobal right now. I hope he is looking in the mirror and trying to find a way to make some drastic improvements next year. Because, as I said when he took over, what he accomplished at Oregon wasn't enough. I think I've said that 100 times. I said it over and over. What he accomplished at Oregon, he comes here, it will not be enough for Canes fans. Well, guess what? He's been worse here than what he even accomplished at Oregon. And by the way, he played in a soft conference there, and he's playing in a soft conference now. And he can't even get to the conference game. Bad look, man. Bad look for Mario Cristobal. And right now, for those of us that wanted him, we're wrong right now. Maybe he'll prove us right, but right now, we did not make the right call. Okay? Every one of us. I wanted Mario too. I wanted the local guy, tough guy, all that kind of stuff, great recruiter, all that. Not a great coach. Great dude, great recruiter, tough guy, all that. Not a great coach, but I wanted him too. And he has proven that he is not a great coach. He's not a great game day coach. In fact, he's average at best. On his best day, he might be average. He might be average. That's how unimpressive he is as a head coach. Game day. So, I look at Dan Lanning in Oregon. They're number one. They got a January 1st bowl. They're sitting there just waiting for who their opponent's going to be. They've only gotten better since he took over. They're the number one team in the country, and it's not even up for discussion. For the Canes, every doubt creeps in because there's nothing there that says that Mario Cristobal has figured it out and that you're back to being some kind of champion or the U is back or any of that kind of bullshit. The O is back, but not the U. Not this O. I was never there, back, here, the bomb or anything like that. I'm just little me behind the scenes. That's it. But the other O, that's the O. That's the real O. Not this one. Anyway, if we lose to Iowa State with a QB like Cam Ward, it's already a massive disappointment, Mike. They're in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, dude. They're not in the playoffs. In a shitty conference. They didn't get Iowa State doesn't mean shit to me, dude. The season doesn't mean that's where you and Iowa State does nothing for me. I don't give a shit if you win. I'll be yawning. I don't even know if I'll watch the stupid game. I'm not sure if I'll have something better to do at that moment, to be quite honest for you, dude. But Iowa State means nothing to this season. This season for the Canes and for Mario Cristobal is an utter failure, dude. I'm not sure what you're watching, but this season is dog shit. A win in the Pop-Tart. Oh, because they don't win bowl games? Bro, I don't care about you winning the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Pancietta Bowl, the Poulon Weed Eater Bowl, the Furniture Bowl. That does nothing for me, man. Absolutely nothing. It proves you're garbage. That's all. You're just a pile of garbage like the rest of the garbage that's out there in college football. You ain't shit, dude. So you and I are completely looking at it different. This season is an utter failure. Mario Cristobal is a failure this season. He's an embarrassment this season, like he was last year, like he's been so far for 3 years. He's an embarrassment like the little jersey he was holding up when he got hired. We must be honest here. It's rah, talk bullshit. It's sound bites. It's cliches that he says. None of it means anything, dude. None of it. All the cliches. He just spews cliches on the Joe Rose show. Just cliches. That's it. It's not about how you walk. It's how you act or whatever. He has all these one-liners. And, bro, show me the end result on the field, dude. Iowa State. You beat Iowa State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl? I'm supposed to be proud of that? Come on, bro. I'm embarrassed that you're in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I'm embarrassed that you're playing that shit bowl game. After all the resources they've given you, Mario, you turn around and give your fan base and the administration the Pop-Tarts Bowl? Yeah. Sorry, dude. Can't do it. Let's see. Oregon getting screwed for being the number 1 seed, the winner of Tennessee or Ohio. Whatever, bro. All I know is that they're badasses. They're number 1. They've had a hell of a season. So get it done. Magnus says the Toaster Strudel Bowl would be way more. You know the way to a man's heart. In fact, I might have traveled out just to be at the Toaster Strudels Bowl because I want a strudel right now. Anybody got an apple strudel? Who makes great strudels nowadays? Is there a restaurant, a bakery where I can get a good strudel? You know, Panera had I think it was like a strudel actually. By the way, Panera, you had the apple strudel or it was like an apple pie like. It was freaking delicious. And you people got rid of it. What the fuck is wrong with you people in Panera? Like, seriously. that thing was awesome. There's not a lot of places where you could go and get a nice apple pastry that's fresh, that's daily made. Panera had it, and it was off the chain. It was so good because there's a lot of good things. I like Panera. I really enjoy Panera. I have their chicken noodle soup all the time. It's hearty. I eat their subs a lot, sandwiches and stuff like that. But they killed me when they eliminated the apple. Now, maybe, somebody from Panera's watching or something. Maybe you people eliminated it only down here in Florida or something, or maybe it's in other parts of the country. I have no idea. I don't know how that thing works. Okay? I don't know if it's a lost leader. But seriously, Panera, why'd you do that to me? First, McDonald's eliminates the classic apple pie that they had for many years inside the little green, oval box. It was the greatest apple pie in fast food history. Then Panera comes up with a terrific, I think it was strudel-like. And it was so good. So good because the bread and Panera, it's just really, really good. And then they eliminate it. What's wrong with you people? Hurting me, man. Rosendo says, remember when bowl games had simple names like the Cotton, Peach, and Orange? Yep. Remember when they had no advertising? Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs. Let's see. You feel the Dolphins had more expectations than the Canes this season? Well, my problem with the Dolphins this season, going into this season, was Mike McDaniel, and he proved me right again. He's a shit game day coach. Nico says toaster strudels are way better than Pop-Tart. I mean, that's not even a discussion. Seriously. If you take a Pop-Tart over a strudel, that means you really never had a strudel. That's what it means. In my eyes, you never had a real strudel. Because if you had a strudel, you would never go back to a Pop-Tart again. Not an apple one. Okay? You got to go to strawberry or cherry or whatever. Chocolate, that's different. But an apple Pop-Tart and an apple strudel, are you kidding me? Like, are we joking here? Come on. That's an insult. Again, you're a phony because you never really ate a strudel. Once you have an apple strudel, there's no way you would ever pick an apple Pop-Tart. Ever. No way. And I like apple Pop-Tarts, okay? Because that was the Pop-Tart of choice for me because I'm an apple guy. I love apple. But apple strudel. Panera does not have it, bro. Where do you live to extreme? They don't have it here. I have one right here in Kendall. The bastards eliminated it. I've actually checked in other places, and they don't have it in South Florida. I mean, hey, do you have the app? No. So, again, you might live in that's why I said maybe in other states. Maybe they sell it in Alabama or in California more, so the Paneras in those places still have it. But I can tell you that they eliminated it in Kendall and on the other parts of Miami because I've just tried it. Because I swear to you, if I ever run into a Panera again that has it, I will drive there just for it. Specifically, just for it. Oh, my God, yes. So, Aldi's has the real German strudels. That's the one you sent me, Jay. In their frozen section, they have apple and mixed berry. So that's the one you sent me. I have the picture. So they are good. Okay. All right. You know what, Jay? Just because I trust you, I trust your ass with my life. I'm going to go to Aldi's today and buy. I still have the picture of it because I saved it. Just in case. Plus, I have to go to Aldi's anyway. No, it's not Aldi's. I have to go to Trader Joe's. That's where I have to go because Trader Joe's has that really thick-ass bread that my daughter was going to make some French toast, and they have this thick-ass bread that's perfect for it. They're the only ones that have it. Publix doesn't have it. It's like that Texas toast-like. They really have it. So I got to go to Trader Joe's. So I'm going to go to Aldi's, and I'm going to purchase that strudel from that one. You know, but I'd love, Jay, to go to a place that bakes it, that has it, like Panera used to do it. Oh, Panera, you killed me. You people killed me. I love your food. Love your service, by the way. Your people are always really cool. But Jesus Christ, why'd you eliminate my strudel? You're killing me. Too extreme, Port St. Lucie. See, that's why, you bastard. You're all the way up in Port St. Lucie. And are you sure? You know what, Too Extreme? I need you to go to Panera today, tomorrow, next week, and buy one and show it to me. Show it to me. I need to see. Don't show me some fake-ass picture you steal somewhere from. No. Show me your face with the strudel and see, hero, I got a strudel. Make me feel really bad that you have a strudel. Because if it's true, I'll remember. And the day I'm driving up north for something, I'm going to go, hey, Port St. Lucie has the apple strudels in the Panera. Oh, they're so good. So good. And by the way, Too Extreme, if you didn't know about it, and you're sure, I mean, if you have it, you should treat yourself to one. Make me jealous, because you're going to make me jealous. The Dolphins are the apple strudel of Panera, completely eliminated and nowhere to be found, at least here in Miami. But, the strudel in Panera is so good, even eliminated. I don't know if the Dolphins are worthy of being compared to that strudel. I'm serious, dude. Panera knocked it out of the freaking park with that thing. Memories. Like the corner of my mind, misty watered colored memories of the way the strudel was. Let's see. Panera in Tradition Square here in Port St. Lucie has it. Well, you better show it to me. Because, if I drive by Port St. Lucie and then I get off and it's not there, I'm coming after you. Anthony says there wasn't that many Dan Marino games broadcasted by John Madden and Pat Summerall. There are only two I found: Cowboys versus Dolphins, Saints versus Dolphins. There's a lot of NBC, ESPN, and CBS. I don't know why that came out of anywhere, but okay. We'll take your word for it. Frankie Frusco says Trader Joe's or Aldi's. You know what? I don't shop enough in both places to make an educated opinion on that. I'm sorry. My wife is the one that does the shopping. I'm the guy that goes to go get the Texas toast because I have my agenda. My wife does all the shopping. I'm sorry. It's not a sexist thing or whatever. She runs the house, dude. What do you want me to do? She does the shopping. She has everything in mine or whatever. Oh, we're low on soap and deodorant or paper towels or, whatever. She does all the shopping. I do stupid little things that I might want or need. An apple strudel that Jay Gelfin turned me on to. So now I have to go to Aldi's to go get my stupid apple strudel. And then I have to go to Trader Joe's because I know they have that fat-ass bread for the French toast. Okay? And so that's it. So I'm an idiot. I can't tell you about how good Publix is over Walmart or Walmart over Costco, or I don't do enough of that. So I'd love to give you an opinion, but I can only give you an opinion that I don't have an opinion because I'm not educated enough. Panera has great pagers. They vibrate and make wonderful coasters. You're making me hungry, but I'm already hungry thinking about an apple strudel. Oh my God. Luke says the strudel challenge. Two Extreme says, I got you, Big O. They sell apple and blueberry versions. Well, I'm good with the blueberry. I mean, it's not that I dislike it, but apple it's like an oatmeal cookie for me. Like, you want to get to my heart? Oatmeal cookies, glazed donuts, and apple strudel, apple pie. Oh my God. Those are like my three favorite sweets of all time right there. You know, those things, like, forget it. And so, yeah, that's my life right there. The apple pie is way better than your singing. Oh, everything is better than my singing, Frankie. Come on. True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Dolphins are the McRib. Boom. That's it. Disgusting, fake, soft, not real. Yes. Occasionally shows up. Yes. I like it. I like that comparison, True Fin Fan. I like it. Very good. Quick question. Where can you find the best Cuban bread in Florida? That's kind of like subjective, because I'm sure there's a nice little bakery, you know, one place or in another place in different parts of South Florida. You know, like, I'll tell you, like, for sure, you want great Cuban bread? El Brazo Fuerte on 16th Avenue, right off of 32nd, right by, what is it? Coral Gate School. That's right across from the cemetery, 16th and 32nd, about a block and a half south, right? You'll see El Brazo Fuerte. It's there. It's right next to that. Is the Jose Marti school still there? But that little private school, right there. El Brazo Fuerte has great Cuban bread. Okay, but you know, I used to have a bakery back in Hialeah when I was young, that used to be called Los Tres Monos. And it was a very good bakery back in the day. I don't know what it is now. La Rosa on Bird Road and Northwest 7th Street. That's a terrific bakery, bro. You know? So, yeah, I mean, that's subjective. You know, I'm sure there are some supermarkets where you could get some Cuban bread, and some people actually make it pretty good. You know, so that's there's probably little holes in different places where people actually make some pretty good Cuban bread. It's probably several places all throughout South Florida. Let's see, Vicky Bakery's solid too, dude. Vicky Bakery's very good overall. The other place is the one that's really expensive. What's that other one that's all around South Florida? Pinecrest Bakery or something? Bro, those people are expensive. Holy shit. Is it Pinecrest? I think is the name of those people. There's several of them. Holy shit, those people are expensive. Wow. I'm not a key lime pie, Captain Saki, so I'm not the guy to ask. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. Don't Hawk. You don't like the McRib? Hawk. Oh, Hawk. Oh, you mean Hawk? He talks about the McRib. That's right. Yeah. I don't know why he would like that piece of shit, but whatever. I mean, that's whatever. To each his own. You know what I mean? Hey, listen. By desperation, I was hungry and I needed a quick fix, and I hit a Dairy Queen hot dog, and the rest is history. So, you know, now that was kind of a desperation thing. I'm not bragging ever about that. So that's kind of like doing the same thing with the McRib. So I don't know. You know, if you're encouraging people to do McRib, that's kind of scary. McRib only shows up in December. The Dolphins don't. Publix bread blows, Big O. Well, you know, I've never bought Cuban bread in Publix, pa que tu sepa. Pa que tu sepa. Something tells me I'm Cuban. I don't know. Why would I go buy Cuban bread in Publi? Let's see. I used to eat at Las Vegas Cuban, but it went downhill. You know, I've never eaten at that place. I've seen them all over the place. I've never eaten at that Las Vegas place. Dolphins are like pumpkin spice. There we go. La Rosa is very good. Yes, it is, Frankie. Very good. Very good. Sedano's sells good Cuban bread. Never bought it, but okay. If I'm going to buy Cuban bread, there's a better chance I would go to Sedano's before I go to Publi. Pinecrest Bakery is good. Expensive. Expensive, Frankie. Expensive. Let's see. Michael from Vermont, 1 yard. I will stop rooting or listening to anything Dolphins until they can constantly run for 1 short yard. Sayonara, suckers. I only saw Pinecrest Bakery in the Keys. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. Baby Bakery. I've never heard of that. Let's see. McDaniel's Dairy Queen Glizzy. Yes, I will be at Metallica in Tampa. Okay? I'll be at Metallica the first night. I'll be at Burns Steakhouse the second night. And the third night at Metallica. Yes, I'll be there. So, hopefully, we shall see each other. DM me or whatever. We can hook up and share a beer and shoot some shit, man. Picadillo or lechon asado. Chase One is a hardcore listener. But Chase One did not hear my picadillo story, because if he did, he would never ask that question ever again. So lechon asado every day of the week and 5 times on Sundays. So I don't know. Did you ever make that even a segment, my picadillo segment? No, you probably did not. Right? You probably did not.
It would be just audio probably if it's on there.
Yeah. So yeah, no. I in short, as a kid, I guess times weren't the best, but at times or whatever. But my mom, she made ground beef picadillo so much that I can't stand it. Can't stand it. I won't eat ground beef. I won't eat ground beef. I won't eat it. I won't have it in a taco. Okay? The only time I'm going to eat ground beef is when somebody made a burger, because they put it together and that's it. But outside of that, you know what I mean? I will not have just picadillo or in a my tacos will be chicken, steak, seafood, fish, whatever, but it will not be ground beef. No. Yeah, that I am disgusted by it. My mother ruined me on that. So that's the short of it. I compared it to something. I forgot what it was. I used that story as an analogy for something else that was going on in sports here in South Florida. I remember that story. It was something like that. It was one of those. Maybe somebody remembers what the hell I said that day. Let's see. What else do we have? El Pan con Lechon and Pinecrest Bakery is awesome. Do I have to take out a second mortgage for it? I mean, Okay. What else? I lived on 173rd and 46. Man, dog. Baby Bakery. That makes me back to my childhood in Miami Gardens. Okay. I see now. I see what you're saying. I gotcha. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, did Bitcoin bounce back? Oh, yeah. It's at 97.1. It's flying after going down to 93. It's up 4,000 to 97.1. Nice. Very nice. I like it. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, R&M Contractors, let me tell you about Ray and Mike. They do amazing work, folks. And if you're looking to redo your home, you're looking at your wife and you're saying, you have just taken care of us for so many years and you're slaving away. But that kitchen is antiquated and you want to modernize it. Call R&M Contractors. Maybe it's time to modernize that bathroom. Call R&M Contractors. Maybe those floors and tile are so beaten up, you need to redo them. Call R&M Contractors. Maybe you need to redo the entire floor. You know what? How about this? How about maybe you need to redo everything? You want to elevate your home. You want to add another floor, whatever. Call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. They know how to do it all, baby. By the way, condominium owners, oh, baby. Waterproofing your terrace, your balcony. They also do a flood test report, which is very important. You don't want to create any other problems for your neighbors and create bigger problems for your insurance company, all that kind of stuff. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. That's 305-345-3649 for R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. So Brock Purdy has given his offensive linemen all brand new Toyota trucks. Now, Sean, I was going to show the video, but we're going to get tagged, right, for that stuff? If I show that video, probably, right? What do you think?
100%, because I believe it's from
Toyota.
Yeah, Toyota, and also I saw one from the 49ers too, so the NFL's involved.
So it's a nice video. He surprises the guys, he's making like $700,000, $650 a year or whatever. So he can't afford to do all this. In fact, he spent I think he makes like $900, and he spent it's like $600,000 they spent in getting all of the offensive linemen trucks. Okay. But of course it's not his money. That's a sponsorship thing. Toyota gets a hell of a plug on it because there are a whole bunch of really nice Toyota trucks. I got to tell you, man, there's a 300 series, I think it's called. That thing is, I put it on my Twitter feed the other day, a white one. Man, I saw a truck. I fell in love with it, bro. Like between the ZDX from Acura and that one, I'm going to have some problems in 2025 deciding which SUV I'm getting. But anyway, so he gives his linemen all trucks. And that's a pretty cool gesture on his part. And it's the week of that he's playing the Dolphins. Because, those linemen are going to feel pretty good about taking care of Brock Purdy this week. And maybe for the final games of the season, since really both these teams are done, But it's just kind of funny seeing that. And then this happens to be the week you're playing San Francisco. And Brock Purdy's giving all his linemen big, giant, beautiful Toyota SUVs, trucks. Pretty impressive, dude. Good job by him. And it sucks that he's doing it the week of that he plays the Dolphins. And by the way, the Niners are still favored by 1. Okay. This opened up Miami favored by 2.5 on Monday. We're now at the Niners favored by 1. I don't know, man. After that gesture yesterday, Vegas probably should have upped the ante like to 1.5 or 2, Sean. I don't even know if the Dolphins are going to get even close to Brock Purdy this week. Damn. Yeah.
Either that, or do you think they'll hold and they'll make sure he doesn't get touched? Maybe some penalties,
right,
to help the Dolphins out.
Okay.
I guarantee he doesn't get hit one way or the other. He doesn't get hit.
Right. They'll hold chop.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let him get to Purdy. I like that.
And the other thing is, it wasn't just the starting offensive lineman.
Right.
It was
Every
offensive lineman.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what Cam Ward did.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
When he got the chain and the number thing diamondized for all his guys, he got it for all the linemen, even the backups, because you can't just give it to the starting five, because they're throughout the season always other guys are filling in and helping out. So you can't be a dick. You can't do the dick move of only giving it to the five guys that happen to be starters at that moment. So you're screwed. If you're going to buy one guy the present, you got to give it to all of them. And Cam Ward did the same thing, exactly the same thing. You gotta, dude, you gotta. But shit, man, did he have to do it this week? Couldn't he? Why didn't he do it like 6 weeks ago? So that way, 6 weeks have passed. Time flies, and then you're not like, it's not a big deal anymore. 5 years ago, I took my wife to Paris. I bought her a new wedding ring. I got her. I did it with dinner at the Eiffel Tower. We had dinner on a glass boat in the Seine. I mean, I knocked it out of the park during those days, like a 5-day vacation in Paris, and we did all the top stuff. Okay. She doesn't remember that anymore. Time wore out already. That was 5 years ago. But, it lasted at least for, I don't know, a month. For a month, I was a pretty decent dude. After that, that's it. I'm back to, back in the doghouse, But Purdy's going to be on a perch this week. Next year, they'll forget about that shit. Those trucks will have scratches. Their kids have screwed them up. The dogs have pissed inside the trucks. It's a whole different ballgame a year from now. They're not going to feel the same way. That's why I would have really liked these presents in week 3. That way, by now, they would have forgotten about it. Now it's too damn fresh. Tell you. Anyway. Dolphins are only going to put up 13 points and produce under 200 yards of offense. I'm calling Dolphins 13, Niners 24. One-Eyed Jack says, I'll take Niners. We're going to get pushed around on both lines. Let's see. Rosendo says, is it possible if the Dolphins win out, we can still make the come on, man. Anyways, is Tua giving his linemen trucks? No, they should give him. Okay. They should be giving him presents. In fact, Mike McDaniel should sign over his entire check to Tua, since he carries his ass. Thank you. Thank you, Rosendo. Appreciate you. Thank you. You guys never seen the video? We played the video here, I think, right? We played the video here, right? I think we did. What was that? What were you going to say?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. That was one of the few times in my life that I kind of I guess nailed it or something. That's pretty much what I did that day. I nailed it. Outside of that, I don't think I've ever done it. So and that day what I did was I asked the maitre d' to I gave him my phone. I told my wife, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. And then I went and got the maitre d' and I said, hey, I got to present my wife a wedding ring, but can you film it for me? So he filmed it for me. So it was pretty cool, you know. If you take that billboard down there, Sean, we can show the folks. Eiffel Tower, second floor. You have no idea. It's just looking out into Paris. There I come behind them. Boom. Boom. And by the way, for those of you that don't know the story, I had to sneak in the ring through two metal detectors. And I had my wife. So, and I had to talk here. Jack. And so, I had to sneak it through two what's it called? There we go. Two metal detectors, and so when the thing went off because the jacket went through, I reached into my pocket and I had my keys and the ring next to each other. So I go to the person, oh no, it's my keys, and I opened it up and I had the box with the ring. And my wife is behind me, so she can't see shit. The guy's in front of me, so I show him my keys and the ring. And he goes, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. And then there's a second metal detector a floor later. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? I got to do this again? And so once again, I do it, and they went along with it, bro. They were really good about it because I was really worried about, oh, let me see, and start rummaging. And then, and then she starts seeing it and she sees the ring, and then that's it. My surprise is ruined. You know what I mean? So that was the only thing that I was really, really worried about that day, was ruining the surprise, because she had no idea she was going to Paris until that morning that I had to then tell her that we were going to Paris, obviously. But outside of that, she had no idea what she was packing for or nothing like that. So I kind of kept everything by surprise. And we were lucky, by the way. We saw Notre Dame, and then the fire came a few months later, actually. So now we get to go back to see the new Notre Dame, which is going to be a lot brighter because the other one was very dark from all the years of burning candles and stuff like that, and the dust and everything that was built up. Yes, you have to look spiffy, Magnus. When it's your 25th wedding anniversary, you can't go in a concert shirt, as much as I wanted to. As much as I want. I didn't, now that I think about it, I don't think I wore a concert shirt for like 5 days. I don't think I've ever done that. Yeah. No tie. No, dude. I'm if you got to make me wear a tie, it's got to be like, I'm going to like some kind of a wedding or something, but nah, no need for that. Yeah, the brownie points were good, Brett. It only lasted like a month, but hey, it was a good month. It was a good month. It's a good month. Big O went wild that night for sure. You know it, baby. Let's see. Big O, there's a beautiful crypto. Oh, man, it's been such a beautiful crypto dip. God, it's awesome. Certain things that you're able to take advantage of. It felt good this morning. Felt really good this morning, I got to say. Still may take advantage of something else down the line here if it doesn't completely bounce back. All right, let's go. Hour number 2 is next. Manny Navarro and our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report, followed up by our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All righty. How you doing, my brother? Good morning, sir.
Doing good. How are you doing?
Very good, my man. Very good. Getting ready for this weekend. Catch a little football, college, and the pros, since we've got the playoffs going on, and it's interesting. You know, I was talking about this earlier on the show. Oregon is sitting there waiting for their next opponent, obviously, because they've got to wait on the bracket since they're number one.
Yep.
And Miami never made it to the playoffs. And it's interesting how Dan Lanning made Oregon better. Meanwhile, while Miami won 10 games, it's still kind of deceiving. It's kind of like Mark Richt winning 10 games. You're still kind of a middling team. You're still the same kind of program. And while all the resources are better, really the program hasn't grown to where you need it to be. And it's funny because Mario is coming from a place where he had all the resources anyone could possibly ask for.
Yeah.
And now he comes to a place that finally gave him the resources nobody ever had here. And so it's a very interesting place we're at right now, because Oregon fans upgraded, Miami fans kind of stayed in the same area.
Well, I think, to be fair, one thing we need to know is, and you covered it already.
Results. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Results wise, they've upgraded. Oregon has, and Miami has technically upgraded because this is only the second 10-win season they've had in 20 years. So he did take them back to a Mark Richt benchmark. But you're right. I think ultimately Oregon was in a better place than Miami was when both of those coaches took over. Mario had sort of fixed things from a recruiting perspective. They had, again, top 10 recruiting classes. He got them some really good defensive and offensive linemen, left, some talent there. I think when Mario took over here, it was a little bit more of a different situation because you didn't have the offensive and defensive linemen. And so Mario, I think in 3 years, has upgraded those two spots, still has work to do, still has to get the secondary right. And then needs to win the games he's supposed to win, which he didn't do at Oregon either, by the way. Okay. Right. Which is similar. So yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, if you want, what you want as a Miami fan is for next year to not be a step back. If it's a step back in year 4, even without Cam Ward, you feel really bad about the situation. You are not any different than you've been for the last 20 years. And so this is a prove it season for Mario Cristobal. He has to prove that what he's been building for 3 years is sustainable. That's what they paid him $80 million to do. Make a sustainable winner. Whether or not Miami wins the ACC, wins, gets into the college football playoff, I mean, it's kind of by a razor's edge, right? I think if they lose 2 of their first 3 games and win 9 in a row or whatever to end the year, they're probably in the playoff. It's just the way, things broke down in terms of the order of the way the season goes and all that kind of stuff. So I think, they're on the cusp of where they want to be. They're just not there yet. And he's got to cross that threshold.
Yeah. Let's see if it happens. But right now, Oregon fans are really happy, and Miami fans are still not happy with what's going on. And that's a sad. And the sad part is that I understand that winning a bowl game is progress because you never win a bowl game. But beating Iowa State at the Pop-Tarts Bowl, that's not really something that gets me really jacked. You know what I'm saying? Right. I understand it's still a win, but you've got to do better than the Pop-Tarts Bowl at the end of the year, bro. I mean,
listen, what's crazy is they've only won, and again, this is the despair Miami has been in, because I think everybody just sort of forgets, because they've had good recruiting classes and a couple of good players the last few years. It's like, you've won 2 bowl games in 20 years, right? I mean, the MPC Computers Bowl and whatever the Pop-Tarts Bowl was before. That's it. Like, you haven't even gotten to the end of a season and had any sort of momentum where you carry that. So Mario is digging out of a hole. But again, the pressure's on. He had a golden opportunity this year to win this league. Didn't do it. Got to do it next year in my mind.
All right. So, are we still seeing Cam Ward and everybody play in this bowl game? Is there any chance that stuff is going to start coming up and they're going to make business decisions? Because, quite frankly, I have no idea why Cam Ward wants to play this game. It's not going to help his draft status at all.
Right.
At all.
Well, it could. Remember, this is
wherever he's set, dude. He might improve it with a postseason bowl game somewhere. He might improve it in the combine. He might improve it in the interviews against Iowa State. His resume is already set in that sense. That's just me, but you go ahead.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, Xavier Restrepo has basically come out and said that he's not sure he's going to play in the bowl game. I know Cam Ward has basically said he's going to, but to me, I'm with you. I think some of this might have to do with NIL and getting paid. Like, who knows if that was written into his contract? Hey, the season ends, you still got to go to the bowl game. Maybe he just shows up and plays a quarter or the opening drive and takes his helmet off and says goodbye to the Miami. Who knows if it's just all sort of a fake deal. But you're right. There's no reason for him or anybody with the potential to get drafted to get injured in this game. And so I fully expect we will see Emory Williams in some way, shape, or form, whether or not he starts the game. And I think this will be more about Emory Williams and preparing for 2025 and getting this team ready for the next step.
The history is there. Kevin Fagan, Melvin Bratton, okay, Willis McGahee, all right? I mean, the history's there, okay? So, I mean, I know that most of the people nowadays, they just go to Willis McGahee, but there was a guy named Kevin Fagan years ago. And by the way, he ended up having, just like Willis McGahee, a hell of a career. Bratton did not, unfortunately. That injury really ended up costing him never to be able to be the player he could have been in the NFL, which would have been really fun to watch, by the way, because Mel Bratton was a big man that can move. That was kind of weird in those days to have a big running back that could move like that. But, we've seen it. And I Restrepo, like, why, dude? No, dude. No. And you're Cam Ward. No. And I'm a UM fan and all that, but you nailed it. I didn't think about the NIL stuff. That might be the only reason, but does Cam Ward really, wouldn't he just get prorated, knock that money out and just, forget it?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends what was written to his contract, whether or not, maybe there's a last lump sum that he collects, and maybe he told Mario he would do it. Maybe there's an agreement where he'll show up and do the first drive and then exit the game. I don't know. Look, in the end, it's a completely meaningless game. Whether or not you get to 10 or 11 wins anymore in college football is completely meaningless if you don't make the playoff. The playoff has completely changed the way you look at a successful season. Before the playoff, hell, yeah, that'd be awesome. Get 11 wins. When was the last time Miami did that?
Personally, it does nothing for Cam. It does nothing for Restrepo. It's not going to help them move one spot up. You know what will help Cam move up more? When he goes into those meetings and they're asking him about all the X's and O's and questions, and he knocks it all out of the park and he says this, that, I would have done this, I would have done. Then they're going to go, oh shit, this kid not only is he athletic, he knows exactly mentally, so he's going to transfer and make the transition faster. He moves up the slot. He moves up 5 spots. He moves up around whatever the hell it is. That's what's going to get him. Or he goes to a bowl game. And he goes to the East-West of the senior, and he has a hellacious week, in a week where he meets guys that he's never played with, and all of a sudden grasps the NFL coaching and all that, and then that also triggers something. Those are the kind of things that are going to affect the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Give me a break. That's just so who else are we looking at besides Cam and Restrepo?
Well, I think anybody who's got a chance, like Jalen Rivers, for instance, who's been your starting left tackle, left guard for the better part of the season. Another guy who is going to go to the Senior Bowl. I would expect he's not going to play. I think most of the older guys that have draft hopes, anybody on the defensive line, they got a lot of defensive linemen, young defensive linemen that could use this game for snaps and reps. I think those are the guys you will see sit out. I mean, there's no reason for guys that aren't going to get drafted not to play in their last game. And we know there's a lot of those guys on this team that really have no shot at getting drafted. So I think those guys will play. But I think anybody, that with any sort of potential to get picked would be guys I would say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Cam explains that after, which, again, nobody should bust his balls about that. He deserves to take care of himself, in the process. By the way, how good is Iowa State? What kind of a challenge do you think this is for Miami?
Well, they made it to the Big 12 championship game, and I know most people in South Florida don't watch football outside of this neck of the woods, right? Unless it's a championship game or something. We're not real fans down here in terms of college football, paying attention to everything else. So it feels like everybody gets surprised, right? When what Iowa State's there, it must be good. They're a good team, good balance. Rocco Becht is their quarterback, second-year guy. Consistent. He's got 2,000-yard receivers. One of them's injured, just not going to play in the game. They were terrible tackling Cam Scatterbo. If you watch the Big 12 championship game with Arizona State, they basically ran all over them. And I think ultimately for Miami, this is sort of the perfect showcase to what kind of team you should be next season, with guys like Mark Fletcher, Jordan Lyle, guys that can carry the football and put up big numbers. And I think I almost don't want Cam Ward to play if I'm a Miami fan, because I want to see what next year is going to look like. I want to see, who can he throw the football to? Zay Horton's in the transfer portal, is probably going to Alabama. He was an important guy that they had plans for next season and went to go make more money at Alabama. And so you have other younger guys, JoJo Trader, for instance, Nikar, guys that are sort of the next generation. That's why this game matters, and I think Miami can win it running the football with some of the offensive linemen they got coming back. They got 4/5 of the offensive line coming back next year.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. By the way, go to Caneswear, use our code Big O10. You will get 10% off on practically anything in the store, unless it's already cut 50% off. They're not going to give you 10 more, but you can get 10% off. You want to go get a new hat. Whatever it is that you're looking for, go to caneswear.com. If you order over $99, you'll get free shipping. They've got Dolphins, Panthers, Heat, Marlins, Inter Miami, and practically anything and everything with the Canes logo at caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All righty. BigCheeseMiami.com. Don't forget, we got the holiday season going on right now. And if you want to order the holiday party platters for your family, your get-together, maybe for your job, maybe for your employees, customers, some kind of a party, something like that, man, your pickup or delivery, Big Cheese can take care of you. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com. Any platter, anything on the menu can become a party platter. Give them a ring, 305-662-6855, or just go out there and try some of the best Italian food out there in the world, baby, and it's at BigCheeseMiami.com. It's constantly fresh. All righty. So the Canes, as always, nobody outworks Mario. They've already added a couple of guys here, and I'm kind of pumped because I expect anybody named Zachariah to be a bad mother effer. Okay, so I'm serious. This guy at safety, his name is Zachariah. If you're a Zachariah, I expect you to rip some heads off. So talk to me. What do we know?
Yeah, really good young player, 3 years of eligibility left, freshman at Jacksonville State. And you say, well, Jacksonville State, Manny, what? That's they just won Conference USA with Rich Rodriguez and had a really good team. And 3 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 6.
West Virginia, Rich Rodriguez.
Yes, he was at Jacksonville State and led them to the Conference USA title, which does have the FIU Panthers in that conference. And so a big guy, physical safety, a guy with eligibility left, a guy that they frankly need, Big O, because that safety position was not very good this year. And you needed a guy who's played. And I'm a big believer now, having covered the transfer portal the last few years, seeing, picking these All-American teams. This kid's a freshman All-American, by the way. Looking at these teams and seeing who does well at the next level when they transfer, it's guys who played. It's not the 5-star, guy who sat on the bench for 2 years or 3 years at Georgia. It's the Cam Wards of the world who started at Incarnate Word, went to Washington State, and have played a bunch of games. And this kid started every game this season for Jacksonville State and played a ton of snaps. And he's good, and he's hungry, and he's an unranked recruit coming out of high school, a guy that is hungry for success and not spoiled by it.
Well, hopefully that's going to be 2 good additions, especially in the secondary, because they needed that in a big-time way. Give me some other stuff that the Hurricanes are targeting right now.
Yeah, well, the other commitment, and we didn't talk about him, is J.D. Daniels, the
LSU kid.
The LSU receiver, yes. A kid who also comes from sort of the G5 ranks, spent the season at LSU last year, didn't catch as many balls as he wanted to, wasn't involved in the offense as much as he wanted to. I think had 41 catches, which still wasn't a bad year, but expected more of himself. And Miami, CJ Daniels, his name, that's the guy that I think Miami's really excited about, because they're losing Zay Horton, as I mentioned earlier, and Xavier Restrepo, Jacoby George. You're losing 3 veteran receivers. So you're bringing in a guy who's played a lot of football, started a lot of games, had success, and is still hungry to sort of prove himself to NFL scouts. So decent size, 6'1", 6'2", not a small guy. And they've got a bunch of other guys that they're targeting as well that we can talk about. First one I would say is KC Concepcion, guy who was an ACC Freshman of the Year 2 years ago at NC State. really good sort of slot receiver. I think a guy who could come in and do a lot of things for Miami, assuming they're able to afford him. I know his asking price is pretty big.
Hijo de Jose Concepcion de los States, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Jose Concepcion. Okay.
Yeah, KC out of NC State. And
weird, right? Wasn't Concepcion a shortstop, and you said he's a slot receiver, short?
Yes.
Are you sure now? Are you sure that's not Jose's kid?
It's not his.
Or grandson? I'm sorry, grandson at this point.
No, not at all. A really productive guy though. Somebody that I think can give Miami some new wrinkles in this offense. One thing we didn't see a whole lot of because of I think just the build of this team was receivers running in motion, doing reverses, taking handoffs from the quarterbacks. That's something Concepcion can do. He's run the football a lot, so I think to get Concepcion and CJ Daniels would be a nice 1-2 punch for Miami that would allow a lot of their young receivers that they're excited about to develop over time. And those two guys could be the two front men for Emory Williams or whoever ends up being quarterback. So
anybody also plays baseball just to help out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no? Correct. That'd be great. I mean, the baseball team didn't even make the postseason, right? So that would be that'd be a phenomenal upgrade. Now, there's some other guys in the secondary I want to mention that they're after. One of them I think is going to be committing soon. Xavier Lucas, former Wisconsin cornerback, kid out of American Heritage High School, 6'2", 200 pounds. Played over 200 snaps this past season. Started a game for the Badgers as a true freshman. A guy that Miami really wanted. And a guy that was really torn. He wanted to come to Miami, but was committed to Wisconsin and felt like, okay, I got to go there. Well, after 1 year in that winter, he's basically decided he wants to come back home. So I think it's just a matter of time before that one gets announced.
I love a guy that has two names that could be last names and first names.
Yes, correct. Well, here's another one, technically. Adrian Wilson, another guy out of Washington State. Safety who visited here recently, another veteran guy, in terms of starts.
Now, baby, we're getting guys with names that are first and last names. That's it.
Yes.
Now, I know what they have trouble with the people that fill in the rosters and write the jerseys. So if they screw it up, it's don't worry about it. It's your first name. Oh, it's your last name. It doesn't matter, right? I get what they're trying to do there. Okay.
That's another one. Yeah. Safety, 6'1", 206, started 5 games for Washington State.
Tyreek Hill does the grammar at the University of Miami, so he can't figure out a first name or a last name. I got you. I know what you guys.
That's what it is. That's where I'm going with it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. Okay.
But he's somebody else to watch in terms of targets. A guy who's come in and again. He's a second-year player, started 5 games this year. He's going to be a third-year player next year. So a veteran with some experience at that safety position. If you can get 2 or 3 of those guys in here, you feel much better about the state of your rebuild.
So who right now in the ACC is kicking some ass in the portal?
Well, there's a lot of teams that are doing well, but there's a surprising name involved in the transfer portal this year. Do you know who it is?
SMU has to be.
No.
You just threw the SMU that's so perfect that it would be Lashley doing this shit and not us. But go ahead.
Well, Lashley's already taken a former Hurricane again. By the way, he's already landed. He's taken another running back here, Chris Johnson, who's one of the fastest guys on the team last year. But no, the name I was going to throw at you is Dabo Sweeney and Clemson. They are actually working in the transfer portal, Big O.
No.
Yes, they are. He's actually using the transfer portal. Something he said he would never do. They've got two transfer commitments so far. One of them, edge rusher Will Helt from Purdue, 6'6", 265, big body guy, experience, one of the better edge rushers that was available. And the other's former FCS wide receiver Tristan Smith, the guy who was productive at the lower level, but somebody that can come in and be a depth piece for them. So, but that was the shocking thing for me, was that Dabo Sweeney in the last week here has decided to go out and actually use the transfer portal. And frankly, they need to, because their recruiting class was not very good. But if you want a headliner, Louisville is kicking ass in the portal right now.
Okay. And, Dabo full of shit. What a shocker.
That's right.
absolute shocker that he is full of crap. That is just absolutely amazing. I got to tell you, that is. Now, let me ask you something. Speaking of NIL, the whole North Carolina thing. Again, I think it's going to be a disaster. I don't think he can relate to these kids. I think when he starts seeing how these kids are worried about their brand and their girlfriends and their social media more than football sometimes or whatever, and I think he's going to freak out and all that stuff, okay, when it's all said and done. But a lot of people feel that, all of a sudden North Carolina is going to come up with a boatload of money in NIL. And so the thinking from what I'm seeing people say is, well, you don't need to have relationships anymore. You just sign the contract and that's it. And here's where I counter with all those people that say that. The money you're offering is being offered by that school and that school and that school and that school. The money's not going to be much different. So relationships and opportunities and how you get along with people are going to matter, because North Carolina is not going to have more money than Miami or Ohio State or Alabama or any team that they're trying to compete for a player with. Plenty of other NILs are going to have plenty of money. So relationships will matter. It will matter if you can win a mother or father over, or the kid, or if you can, make some promises to him or something, stuff that he's not used to. I'm just saying, I think I think the people are kind of overrating the flat out money thing, because there's a lot of people that have money now.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the biggest thing more than anything, is culture. You need to have a good culture, and just throwing money at a problem doesn't fix it. Just ask Florida State, right? They spent a lot of money and went from 13-1 to 2-10. Why? They didn't have enough leaders, and I think part of it is, I try to explain this to people who ask me all the time. How do you think the money aspect is going to change college football? You covered the NFL for a long time. You've been in NFL locker rooms. What happens when one guy gets paid and another guy in the locker room does not?
Ooh. And it's an uncomfortable situation.
Imagine that happening with a bunch of teenagers.
Exactly.
And that's the difference with college football and the pros. And that's why you are seeing volatile situations the way that you've seen with, like, example, Florida State. Why you've seen a team like Indiana all of a sudden turning around from being complete crap to going 11-1 and making the playoff, because culture matters. The coach matters. The culture he establishes matter. The players that they go after matter. How much they pay guys matters. How much of it's shared equally matters. And so Bill Belichick has a huge problem. He's used to operating in the NFL where, hey, this guy wants to get paid. Doesn't matter. We're going to go draft somebody. You don't draft guys in college football. You got to recruit them. You got to make them like you, because, as you said, the money's equal in a lot of other places, or close to equal. So it's a much trickier game.
It's not like North Carolina all of a sudden is going to start outbidding everybody by so much money that, okay, the kid has to go there. No, dude, you're not. You may not be even offering as much money as some other places, or you might be in the same ballpark. So you better have some skill in relationships and creating that. And I just don't see that ogre doing that with those kids. I just don't.
It's really hard. Look at the successful coaches in college football today. I look at Cignetti and the job that he did. He was good where he was at before he went to Indiana. It's a culture thing to me more than anything else. What kind of example do you have in your locker room? Do you identify the right alpha leaders to lead your program? Miami went from 7 wins to 10 because they got the right quarterback, but they also got the right alpha leader. Cam Ward came in, galvanized that locker room. The moment those guys leave now, it's really hard to replace them. And so you have to have a culture established to keep it consistently going.
Dude, Nick Saban left, bro.
He couldn't handle it. Yeah.
And to me, Belichick is worse than Saban.
Yep.
So and he's just been stuck with pros all his life.
Yep.
This is going to be a whole different monster. And when you see Chip Kelly and you see the guy from UCF, Malzahn.
Yep.
These are people that are easily head coaches in college, and they said, enough's enough. I'm going to go become a coordinator. I can't take this shit anymore.
Right. They just want the X's and O's aspect of it, not the babysitting aspect of it. And so that's why, again, I will say over and over again, the toughest sport to win in is college football. It just is.
And this whole thing about, well, he's going to help his kids. The problem is his kids are nobodies. And to those kids are going to say, who the hell is whatever Belichick, Steven Belichick, or any of the other sons? I don't give a shit who those people are. Yeah, I've heard of Bill, but who the hell? Why? Because it's his son. Those kids don't give a shit about that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this becomes just something amazing. But to me, I think this is just you're going with the nostalgia of Belichick, and you think that the aura of Belichick is going to turn your entire program around like that. I just don't see that, dude. I just don't see that. You know?
I'm with you.
You're better off stealing somebody else's up and coming terrific coach that can recruit and gets it, and spend your money there instead, like that, because then that's how you can build something long term. But if not this way, this is a stopgap. You're getting a 70-something-year-old man. Come on, dude. I mean, nothing makes sense. All right, what do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Tons of content to read, man. Tons of transfer portal stuff, coverage, playoff coverage. Playoffs start tonight with Notre Dame and Indiana in that cold. I don't know if you saw the photos, but there's snow on the ground everywhere up there. So it's going to be really neat. I think the next 24 hours are going to be pretty awesome. Hopefully people tune in. And I know there's competing. We got the competing NFL college football schedule for the first time in a while. But this is it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's right into Notre Dame, because they can run the hell out of the ball. That's what they're going to do all night. They're going to run the hell. They're going to run the hell out of the ball in that weather. So yeah, it's I don't know if it'll be an exciting game, but it'll be a physical one. That's for damn sure. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Better yet, subscribe to The Athletic and support the man. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a blessed weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
All right, brother. You too. Take care.
You got it. There you go. Manny Navarro and our Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes! After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Hope you all are doing well. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O not trying to be, since Purdy bought his lineman a truck, he should buy Run CMC a handicap van. I don't know what that means. Who's Run CMC? What is that?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, okay, because he got injured. All right. The only issue I have with Greer, and it's a big one, is that Greer needs to stop downplaying obvious and glaring needs or problems. He stops doing that, we have a better functioning team. Has nothing to do with that. The game might be career defining for Purdy. If he has a great game versus the Dolphins, it will secure Purdy a new fat contract. Nah, I don't think so. The Dolphins aren't a measuring stick for anything, dude. What else do we have here? They either decided they're going to pay him or they're not. It has nothing to do with this game. They have years of tape, and they know that decision already. This game will have, well, the Dolphins are garbage. Like, who the hell measures themselves against the Dolphins? Dolphins are a joke. You guys do know that, right? We love our team, but they're a complete joke. That's what they are. Until proven otherwise, they're just a joke. That's all. Let's see. The sky is not falling in Miami. Just draft good. Tua is the man. Just play smart. Let's go Dolphins. So, talk a couple things. First of all, I want to get to. I got two more subjects I want to talk about with the Dolphins for today on the show. And one of them is Tyreek Hill. Before I get to an issue that is bad but can turn out to be very good. We'll get to that in a minute. But it's been a problem for this team for a long, long time. So, Tyreek Hill, he put out a tweet a couple of days ago about it's time for me to go coach. And so people were trying to figure out, is he saying that he wants to leave? Is he saying that he wants to coach because Teddy Bridgewater at that moment had just won the state title with Northwestern and all that kind of stuff? So he puts out that tweet. And remember, we had a listener that mentioned it, And as you know, as you all know, I can never believe you guys until I actually really see it. And so we went to look for it, but we really didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Plus, he's such a troll or a moron at times. I'm really going to go with the latter. I'm going to go with a moron because he does so many stupid things, you know. So that whole thing he puts out there, and then it just creates all kinds of controversy that is not needed. But again, he's not very bright. Okay. So here's Tyreek addressing his stupid tweet.
What though? Talk to me.
The tweet. Time for me to go.
Bro, y'all know what's crazy, bro. I just be like looking at stuff and then like I just tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like no like grammar. Like I be needing some grammar corrections and everything else. But what I meant was like when I say it's time for me to go coach, meaning that like when you see guys like Teddy Bridgewater, when you see guys like Michael Vick getting these head coaching jobs, it's like, bro, like I want to be a coach also when I'm done playing, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I meant by it. I ain't meant by like I want to get traded or I want to leave Miami. Like I'm in a great situation here. Like I love the guys here. I love this organization. They obviously changed me and my family's life, you know what I'm saying, forever. So I'm in a great spot, man. I'm happy. I wish we were playing better ball, but at the end of the day, like I feel like when I tweet something, it's not always about football. It's about, you know, seeing these other guys, you know, succeed in other areas like Deion Sanders and stuff like that. So I would just shoot my shot. I really at Michael Vick, like, hey, it's time for me to go coach with Vick, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right. Okay, we have to, let's, you know, like he says, right? I be like this and I be like that. Okay, so first let's go with you're not very smart. This is why you've had 5 kids in the last year and a half with all kinds of different women. You're not very smart. This is why somehow you're playing some fun touch football with an IG model and she ends up with a broken leg. You know what I mean? This is why you're doing 60 miles an hour on game day. And I don't excuse the cop, but I don't excuse Tyreek at all for his behavior because he's dumb. His words, not mine. But I'm going to back him up on that because I'm going to agree with him because there's lots of reasons why he's dumb. He's dumb because he runs the wrong route and it turns into an interception. So he's not smart enough to figure out, maybe, that by putting that after a game like that, after the season he's had and everything, it's a terrible look on his part because it makes you look like a malcontent because that's exactly how it came off right away on the chat board. But he's not smart enough to figure that out. Right? I mean, that's what he wants to say, right? So I get let's go run with stupidity, right? Because you know, there's no way he actually knew what he was doing, that it would create controversy both ways, that it means many things because you can actually, you know, understand it, look at it, view it different ways, right? But he's not going to know that. So he wants to coach. The guy that doesn't run right routes, he wants to coach. The guy that can't catch the ball consistently, he wants to coach. The guy that doesn't show up in big moments on a consistent basis wants to coach. The guy that gets abused by corners wants to coach. The guy that talks all kinds of shit leading up to games like Kansas City, I'm going to be your nightmare, and he gives the game away, wants to coach. The guy that files for a divorce then tries to tell us that, oh, no, that somebody else did it. Like we're the stupid ones now because that's what you're saying to us. We're stupid. We're going to believe that someone in your entourage filed for a divorce. Really? So let's just go with stupidity. And let me ask you something, Tyreek, out of curiosity. Where does it show that you're a coach? Teddy Bridgewater, I knew was a coach way before he even retired. Anybody that's been around Teddy, anybody that knows Teddy, anybody that knows people that have coached Teddy, anybody that knows players that have coached with Teddy, they will tell you the dude mentally is at a Pro Bowl level. The Lord didn't give him the Pro Bowl talent, but his mind, whew, that's why he made it as far as he made it, because he didn't have the physical talent, but his intelligence allowed him to survive a long time and at a high level. Okay? That shows you he's pretty special in that sense. Tyreek, you're not that guy. You were blessed with ability, but you're not smart enough to even better your ability, maximize it. In fact, you're an underachiever. So there's nothing about you that says you're a coach. So, yeah, whether it's intelligence or a lack of context, whatever it is, you're a terrible communicator. And then again, if there's any part of you that knows what you were doing, you're also an asshole. You're a king-size asshole because there's a lot of people that pay a lot of money to go see you, and you've played like shit all year. So maybe you should have more awareness of what you're doing. It's not cute. It's irresponsible. It's not funny. It's disrespectful. Okay? It's rude. That team, oh, by the way, yeah, they changed your life, didn't they? Yeah, they did, didn't they? They gave you all kinds of money. And then they followed up by giving you even more money the last 2 years, which was really an incredibly dumb thing to do on their part. And I like the people in the front office. Okay? I don't want them gone, but I'll say when they did something wrong, that was wrong. That was wrong. And whenever I spoke to anybody in the building, by the way, just so you guys will know this, okay, I'm never going to tell you the people I talked to in the building, but every one of them, I told them, do not give Tyreek any more money. Get out of that deal after this season. Every single one of them. Before they gave him the money, I told them at all levels in that building, because I get to talk to all kinds of people in that building, believe it or not. And I told every single one of them. Some of them said, no, I've heard you on the show. I've heard you on the show. So this was a major mistake by the Dolphins. It was a terrific acquisition. You milked it. You had to let it go after this season. It ran its course. That's why Kansas City let him go. Kansas City and Oregon have something in common. They're better off without Mario and Tyreek. They're good. They're not the reason why they were winning. And they're not the reason why they could be even better. Kansas City became a better franchise without Tyreek. Oregon became a better program without Mario Cristobal. So, Tyreek, okay, we'll go off. You're not smart. Well, maybe you should ask people before you do something. Since you're not smart enough to figure it out, but if you are smart enough and you did it on purpose, then it just adds to everything else that's gone on here for a few years. And, it's a shame. It really is. Because this is a fan base that has supported you, and all you're doing is shitting on them. And when you don't know how to read the room, This is a franchise that's been a complete screw up for 40 years now. And you're part of it now. Those 1,700 yards are just as memorable as you losing the Kansas City game all by your lonesome. It's just as memorable as the DB. What's the name of the dude that just snatched the ball out of his hands this past weekend and got the AFC Defensive Player of the Week? You know? Stingley, I think it was the kid's name. Come on. Have a little more awareness. I guess I know you don't have intelligence, but since you don't have intelligence, maybe before you do anything, you might want to ask people with intelligence. And if you do happen to have some intelligence that you realize what you did, well, stop being an asshole. Yes, sir.
You're right, Stingley.
Derek Stingley, correct?
That is correct. The junior.
And yes, exactly. I saw his father play, so yes. Yes. What else? Tyreek has admitted multiple times he likes to troll people on X. That's all he does there. But he says he wasn't really trolling there. He was talking about coaching. Shout out to the corporate time-stealing weasels. That's it, Think Blue Dodgers. I like it. The Tyreek Hill School of Childbirth. Oh, man. People think that Tua isn't good or stupid. I just hope the Dolphins put the right head coach in place. Well, that's not going to happen. So, You know, what has happened for the Dolphins, and it's been going on for 40 years, and you think about it, and I want you to really think about this, okay? When was it the last time the Dolphins had a great linebacking core? It's a long time, bro. Might have to go all the way to the 70s. You know, you had a great linebacker in Offerdahl, but you didn't have any great linebackers next to him. You had a great linebacker in Zach. No great linebackers next to him. And that's been one of the many issues that we could talk about. Defensive line, offensive line, quarterback, head coach, front office, all those different types of combinations over the 40 years have been a problem, correct? Even with Shula. At the back end of Shula, they had no GM. Their personnel department was weak as hell. Okay? They'd hit on some players, and they'd miss on a whole bunch, and they'd screw up trade after trade after trade. Okay? In the latter half of the Shula era. Okay? So they have struggled with all kinds of combinations and struggled. But you think about it, one of the reasons why they're not tough enough, why they're not great, again, no great linebacking core. You can come up with a great linebacker. You know, even when Zach was here, Seau was here, but Seau wasn't a great linebacker anymore at that point. He was a serviceable linebacker that was out of place at times because he would ad-lib. But he wasn't a great linebacker anymore at that point. And if you want to get back to being great, you got to develop a great linebacking core. Now, here's the interesting part. And this is what I've been telling you about the outsides. Remember how I told you, you have your tackles. You have Patrick Paul and you have Austin Jackson. And you're going to get Keon back. And if Lamb wants to come back, you'll have your rotating tackles too, left and right. So you're set there. You got to fix your guards, right? You got your center. Okay. On the D line, well, you got pass rushers. You got one defensive tackle. Need to go get another fat guy that you can put next to Sealer, right? Linebacker. You haven't had a great linebacking core. Do you know that this year could have been a chance for it, but it didn't end up that way? Now, I'm not going to put Brooks anywhere near Bonacani and Offerdahl and Zach, best linebackers we've ever had here. By the way, is Brian Cox like the fourth best one? Anyway, so think about that. Like, really, we haven't had like a ton of great linebackers. But think about this. Brooks looks good. Okay? Looks really good right now. Looks comfortable. Next year, you get back Chubbs and Phillips. And you have Chop. If you could go find yourself a middle linebacker, a defensive tackle, you can really start to actually beef up that middle. And where you've struggled, because you haven't had a great linebacking core in forever. You've had a couple of great linebackers, but not great linebacking core. Next year, you get these guys back healthy, along with Chop, along with Brooks. All of a sudden, you can have a linebacking core like you've never, ever had. Because, again, Phillips has not gotten to that point that he's great or anything, but we all know the talent is there. Jesus Christ, Jalen Phillips can be an awesome player. We all know that. And Chubb last year played like an awesome player. 10 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. I mean, the guy was all over the place. He was terrific last year. You have never really developed a great linebacking core in a long time, which would go a long way to becoming a tougher team. Just like if you could go get yourself another fat guy next to Sealer, you will become what? A tougher team. Just like if you could go get yourself some guards to go along with your tackles and your center, you will be what? A tougher team. So in a year where it all looks all screwed up and we're all pissed and all that, if you look at it on the personnel side, there are some things that you just can tweak. And if you freaking get a break or two, and people can stay healthy here, all of a sudden you can make some damage. You can do some damage. You're not that far off on the personnel side. Now, do I believe in Mike McDaniel even if you have those guys? No, I don't. No, I don't. That's my problem with all of this. But I was thinking about it. Like, they don't really have a great linebacking core, and they never have. They never have a great linebacking core. And we all want to see them be a better and a tougher team and all that, but it's actually kind of being built. Unfortunately, things haven't worked out. And look, Walker, I wouldn't count on that guy. He's not a bad player, but I would try to get another guy because he came injured and he's gotten injured again, and he hasn't played enough. So I would try to find another guy. Now, is it going to be a hell of a challenge to fill all those needs in the draft and whatever you can do in free agency? Yeah, of course. But you think about it, you're not that far off from something you never really have is a great linebacking core. And you could possibly have it. And your offensive line, you're really not that far off. If Paul is the guy, Austin, look how much things have changed since Austin Jackson got injured. And for those of you that were killing Aaron Brewer and the Connor Williams thing, that's turned out to be a really good move. Not that any of you would admit that, because a lot of you were calling for Connor Williams at the beginning of the year, and none of you have come back to say, oh, I was wrong or anything like that. But it's interesting. You think about it. And by the way, is Brian Cox the fourth best linebacker here? I'm just wondering. When we talk about like great Dolphin linebackers, there aren't a lot of them. And that's part of the reason why you haven't been especially great in the last 40 years. Because you have Jay Brophy, Derek Rogers. Nice guy, wasn't a great linebacker. Great guy, super nice guy, super classy guy, not a great linebacker. You got Morlon Greenwood, nice man, serviceable linebacker. But if you think about it, in all our frustrations and all of that, there is a core of players here that you can definitely build around. Now you need a couple of pieces to finish it off. But your tackles are in place, your center's in place, your pass rushers are in place, one of your middle linebackers is in place, one of your defensive tackles is in place, your pass rushers are there. There's a lot of things that are in place for the Dolphins to get to that point of winning on the lines of scrimmage. It's only a couple pieces that now they've got to nail it, but they could be special at a position that they rarely are special, because Zach Thomas never played with another great linebacker. Okay? Sale was a has-been at that point. He used to be great. Still good, solid, but not great. Right? Am I wrong? Did Zach Thomas play with a great linebacker next to him, Sean? I don't remember. No great linebackers. Nothing.
No, I don't think so. And I just went through and grabbed the list here, and I'm just going to go down. This was from Russell Baxter.
Oh, but that's dude. Russell Baxter just reached out to me like a week ago, actually. That's funny that you say that.
This was actually July 30th of this year. It says top 10 10 best linebackers in the history of the Miami Dolphins.
Go ahead.
The only thing is I looked at it. I don't think any of these are like the outside linebacker. I believe these are actual like middle linebackers, I believe.
Right, inside. They don't have Bo Camper there?
Hold on a minute. So 10 is Channing Crowder.
Okay, yeah, he's inside.
9, Bob Matheson.
Right.
8, Bob Brzezinski.
Mm-hmm.
The Bruise Room.
Yep.
7, Jerome Baker. 6, Mike Colin.
I would put Brzezinski in front of Baker, but go ahead.
Okay. 6, Mike Colin.
Okay.
That's how you pronounce his name?
Yes.
5, John Offerdahl. 4. Go ahead. What you're saying?
I'm having problems putting 4 in front of him. Go ahead. I'm really intrigued by this one now. Go ahead.
Brian Cox.
No, wrong. Okay, next.
3, AJ Dewey.
Okay.
2, Nick Bonacati.
Okay.
And 1, Zach Thomas.
Okay. All right. I'm still. Who was 5 again?
5 was Offerdahl. 4 was Cox.
I'm putting
6
Offerdahl in front. I'm putting Offerdahl in front of AJ Dewey. Like every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Brian Cox and AJ Dewey are fighting for 4th and 5th on my list. That's where I would probably put those guys. And Brzezinski. They all be fighting for 4th and 5th. But again, think about that. Okay. Only 3 of all those linebackers, in my eyes, are great. Offerdahl had a short career, but anybody that watched Offerdahl, that mother effer was great. Like great and a half. Okay? Like nasty, nasty. Oh my God. Wow. He's the most physical linebacker we've ever had. He's the hardest hitting linebacker we have ever had in our lives, is John Offerdahl. John Offerdahl will knock your pecker in your sock. Okay? John Offerdahl's a man and a half, bro. Man and a half. So, yeah, no, I disagree with that list there. And I love Russell, but no. John Offerdahl he's only 3 because he had a shortened career. Really? He's only 3 because he had a shortened career. If he has a full career, he's the best linebacker to ever play for the Miami Dolphins. Period. End of story. Okay? Best linebacker to ever play for the Miami Dolphins would be John Offerdahl. It was just a shortened career. That's why. But if it wasn't for that, my God, it's not even close, dude. Offerdahl was a beast. Oh, yeah. Really fun to watch. Anyway, what do I think about Pete Carroll? He's old. He's a surfer. He should enjoy his retirement, just in case if you're trying to lead anywhere. Let's see. My top 5 Dolphin linebackers, Devin Jordan says, Zach Thomas. Oh, no, not Junior Seau. Brian Cox, Channing Crowder is nowhere near there. Channing Crowder was a solid player. Channing Crowder's a fantastic dude. He does great on radio and all of that. Let me explain something to you guys on something here. Okay, if Channing Crowder is in your top 10 of all-time linebackers and the team's been around since 66, you don't have a very good list. Are we clear on that? Are we crystal clear on that? Okay? Crystal clear. Right? Channing Crowder, it's because he becomes a personality and then we like him and all that, and he's super likable. He's a great dude and all of that, but I'm going to compartmentalize and I'm going to do my job. Okay? Some of you are fans, like my man Devin, and you let your heart make your decision. When you have Channing Crowder in your top 10, then you have been very weak at that position in the history of your franchise. Channing Crowder was average on his best day. On his greatest day, he was average. His strength was his intelligence, that he could put people in place and call the plays. But he was not a great linebacker, not even a very good linebacker, not even a good linebacker. He was average on his best day. Average. On his best day. So, yeah, it's not, we're again, kind of prisoner of the moment, kind of, Devin, I love you, but that's not, no. Channing Crowder doesn't belong anywhere in the top 5. And neither does Junior Seau, by the way, because he only played here for a couple of years and he was a shell of what he used to be in San Diego. You know what I'm saying? So, no, not even close, dude. Not even close. And the fact that you put him in front of that, Devin, you might be so young that you didn't watch John Offerdahl play. That tells me you didn't watch John Offerdahl play. If you watch John Offerdahl play and you got Junior Seau in front of him, that hurts. That one hurts, bro. That one hurts. Let's see. I think I'm putting Offerdahl at 3 ahead of Crowder. Oh my God, yeah, bro. I put John Offerdahl on one leg in front of Crowder and Baker, on one leg. You understand that? He could be playing with a crutch, and I'll take him over Crowder and Baker. Are you kidding me? Offerdahl? Oh, man. Crazy ass take. Finns would be better right now without Hill's money on the books. Yeah, that's what I just said, that you should let him go after this season. But they guaranteed this season, next season, and they're stuck. They can't do anything till 2 years. Worst Miami linebacker of all time. I'll go first. Duke Riley. Larry Izzo was as bad or worse. And he was a great special teamer. But those guys are special teamers. So when you play them at linebacker, they don't belong. It's like oh God, what's his name? OJ Brigance. Fantastic human being, standout special teamer, not the guy you wanted at linebacker. You know, there are certain guys in the history of Dolphin football that were outstanding special teams linebackers, but you don't want them playing. I mean, Larry Izzo sucked, bro. Like, Larry Izzo was dog shit as a linebacker. Absolute and total dog shit as a linebacker. But as a special teamer, he was a Pro Bowler. So you gave him a spot because that phase of the game was so important. But every time you put Larry Izzo out there at linebacker, he was an embarrassment, dude. Every time the Dolphins had to play Larry Izzo, it was terrible. So, but that's kind of the way I look at Duke Riley. He's a special teamer, not even as good as Larry, but he's a special teamer. I don't look at him as a real linebacker, just like Larry Izzo. Every time I saw Izzo having to play linebacker, I cringed and I hated it. But I understood, bro, he has to take up the last spot because on special teams, he's unstoppable, you know, and you got to live with it, unfortunately. So that's kind of the way I look at it. You know, Pat, I can't tear Duke down that much because I know what he is, and it's not his fault. It's what he is, you know. Big O just came out of Panera here in Satellite Beach, which is a little beach town next to Melbourne, and no apple strudel. Boom. That's why my man over in wherever it was at, too extreme, right? I gotta see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? He might have seen it like 8 years ago, and he doesn't realize that he thinks it was like 2 weeks ago or something, you know. Those kind of things. Ty in the Bronx, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, these youngins just don't know. Shaking my head. Yeah, no, you can't. There's no way you put Offerdahl behind Junior Seau and Jerome Baker. I mean, that's crazy, dude. John Offerdahl is the greatest linebacker in Dolphin history. It's just he has to be behind Zach and Bonacani because of the injuries. And that's it. Was it injuries and concussion, right? Or something like that shortened his career. If 7, 8 years, something like that Offerdahl played. If Offerdahl plays a whole career, he's the best linebacker. Let me put it this way. He gets into the hall faster than Zach, and he's at the number one spot, and there's no discussion. That's how good John Offerdahl was. Like, there's zero discussion if John Offerdahl has an entire career. Zero. That's how good he was, dude. Okay? He's only 3 because of that. That's the only reason he gets knocked off the perch. But as a talent, oh my God, was he a pleasure to watch. Jesus Christ. I would pay money just to watch John Offerdahl knock the shit out of people. Okay? Because John Offerdahl knocked the shit out of people. Bad mofo. Bad mofo. Oh, man. Big O, just curious, have you seen the new Bitcoin documentary on Netflix about the biggest Bitcoin heist in history of $4.8 billion, a nerdy tech couple? I know the story. So I followed the actual story. I have not watched the movie. So I kind of followed the real thing. Let's see. I think the only memorable play I remember from Crowder was a hit he had on Wes Welker on a crossing route in the middle of the field. He leveled Welker. That's it after that. Yeah, I got nothing against Channing Crowder. He's fantastic, a great human being, super cool. When he was a player, he was really nice to me also, by the way, all of that. Okay. But I'm going to do my job. Okay. I'm going to do my job. On his best day, he was maybe average. That's it. That's it. On his greatest moment was average, which is awesome compared to us. But let's be honest. And again, if Channing Crowder's in your top 10 inside linebackers and you've been around since 1966, you have done a shit job as a franchise with inside linebackers. Are we clear on that? Am I clear? Am I being clear? Or do you understand? Okay, it's a bad list. It's a really bad list if Channing Crowder's in your top 10 as inside linebacker. And I don't mean any insult by it. I'm just talking about the reality of it. Okay? The reality of it. Okay? He barely, I don't even think he lived up to his draft status. Just to be quite honest. Okay? Anyway, Pat Asheville goes, okay, worst Dolphin special teamer. I'll go first. Duke Riley. Devin says, come on, I'm old enough to remember John Offerdahl having a bagel shop. We have bagel shop. And it's bagel shops. He had shops. Man, he made a lot of money on that shit, man. Good for him. What else do we have? I'm the Get the Apple Strudel Panera watch. Let's go. Let's go to extreme. Because if you score the next time what is it, Port St. Lucie, I think you said, if it's true, I might just make up something with my wife and say, hey, I want to go to Disney World. Let's go for the weekend. I'm off. Let's take off. There's no Dolphin football. They're out of the playoffs. Let's go for the weekend. Oh, honey, I'm kind of hungry here. Port St. Lucie, or, there's a Panera. That kind of stuff. So let's see. Bert Esworthy says, Big O, my son and myself will be at Dolphins game Sunday. Where are you going to do the post game? I'm sorry, Bert. I'm in studio, my friend. So unfortunately, I am not going to be on the road anywhere for the post game show. I apologize. My road appearance was yesterday at Hialeah Park. Outside of that, I don't think we have another appearance again till Hialeah Park again, right? Yeah. Not till next Thursday. So apologies, my friend. I hope we hook up another time, you and your son. And thank you for supporting the show, my man. And please smash the hell out of the like button. Pat in Nashville says, the only thing I remember about Crowder was him saying he would piss himself on purpose during games. He's a trip. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. He's fantastic on the air. He's got a gift. Okay. They do a fun job of just screwing off on that show. Obviously, I got nothing against either guy. I don't listen to that show at all for anything on the sports side. Okay. They don't teach me a damn thing on the sports side because they're just usually screwing around. But at least Crowder is the one thing that might bring a little sports to the whole thing, But I mean, they do a great job screwing off and all that stuff. And it's great. When I tune in, I know what I'm listening. I'm not really listening to be enlightened on anything in sports or learn something or, that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to get any great insight in that show. But they have fun and they do a great job of screwing off. And that's their thing. That's their shtick. George Metellus says Offerdahl's bagels were pretty good. They were very good. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very good fandango. No, but seriously, you think about it, the Dolphins have the potential of having a great linebacking core next year. You know, I just wish we could have a great coach. Because I think Weaver, you give him the linebackers and the pass rushers, and I think he's going to be an even better coach. You know, hey, the bright side is, I'll give you a bright side. McDaniels' his final year. Next year, he finally proves he's a screw up. It's over. Weaver kicks so much ass, he becomes the head coach. And his defense stays healthy. It becomes tough and physical. And then we say, okay, we want that guy to be the head coach from here on out. And then he knows the team, he's assessed it, and he can move on. That's it. That's all. I figured it out. Okay? That's all. Weaver comes back with a full team, full defense, and then gets the head coaching job the following season. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar, folks. And, of course, my man Alan Blanco does amazing work, custom printing and embroidery for your company, school, business, whatever it is. Call him. Last night, Chargers over the Broncos, 34-27. Both teams are at 9-6. Bo Nix, 263 and 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 284, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Tonight, 8 o'clock, tip-off, Heat taking on the Thunder at the Kaseya Center. 7 o'clock, it's the Blues visiting the Panthers at Amerant Bank Arena. Face-off will be at 7. Saturday, we've got 2 NFL games. Texans taking on the Chiefs at 1 o'clock. And the Chefs, by the way, are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 42.5. At 4, Purdy. It is the Steelers taking on the Ravens. And Baltimore is favored by 6.5. I love the Steelers plus the points. Not that I'm a gambling expert, of course. Over and under is 44.5. Not a gambling expert, not a financial expert. Do your own homework. And then at 3:30 today, it is Frankie Fresco's Florida Gators taking on the Tulane Green Wave in the Gasparilla Bowl. It'll be on the Deuce. The Gators are favored by 10.5. The over and under is 49.5. And at 8 o'clock tonight, we got the first round in the playoffs on ABC. And it's number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 10 Indianers. And Notre Dame is favored by 6.5 points. The over and under is 52. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendario. Okay, man? That's your calendario. So check it out, baby. Check it out, the calendario. Now let's go with musicians born on this date. Since we love talking about birthdays, let's go. We start off with Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes, the singer. Born on this date, my date, 1966. So there you go. A little hard to handle, baby. Let's see. Jackie Fox, bassist for the Runaways, born in 1959. Cherry Bomb. You want to ring her bell? Well, Anita Ward is ready for you to ring her bell. She was born in 1957. What else do we have here celebrating birthdays? Alan Parsons, wrapping it up, the legend, dude. Studio engineer, musician, record producer. He was involved with the production of the Beatles' Abbey Road, Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. Just saw him in concert recently. Alan Parsons is He's God, bro. He's just God. Born in 1948 on this date, the dude is a monster. Peter Criss, original drummer for Kiss, born on this date in 1945. And Bobby Colomby, drummer for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, born in 1944. Pretty good list of musicians today, born on this date. Let's go with other famous folk celebrating birthdays. Mbappe, futbolista. Hey, maybe Jorge Mas should bring Mbappe. I mean, Messi doesn't have enough help to win titles, you know? Like some guy was like celebrating. Oh, they moved Campana. They're going to bring another big name. I'm like, how many big names does Messi need to win the MLS? I thought the MLS was a dog shit league. Poor Jorge Mas. He spends millions and millions and millions, puts together a roster that the MLS has never seen, and these guys choke it away. I mean, you can't blame Jorge Mas. How much more money does he have to spend to win Messi an MLS Cup? I guess it's easier to win the World Cup and win any big major tournament than it is the MLS for Messi. Jonah Hill is 41. Dude couldn't even get out of the first round with a loaded roster. That is embarrassing. Embarrassing. You Argentine people, is he still allowed in your country? I'm just wondering, do you guys still allow Messi to go in your country? Because he can't get out of the MLS his first round? Just checking. Because, I mean, winning the Olympics or the World Cup, that ain't shit. I can't even win the MLS. He just won. Didn't Messi just win the World Cup for Argentina? Did he just win that right now? Okay. He can beat the world, but he can't beat the MLS? I'm still beside myself on that one. Paul Ritter, movie actor, born on this date in 1966. Seems to be a hot day, or year, that is. We lost him in 2021. De'Aaron Fox, basketball player, is 27. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. Ashley Cole, soccer player, futbolista. He is 44. And Jared Bowen, another soccer player, he's 28, celebrating a birthday. Sean, any wrestlers celebrating birthdays today, sir?
Yes, sir. Armando Estrada turns 46. Super Strong Machine, he turns 68. Takeshi Rikio, 52. And Zach Clayton is 30. All celebrating birthdays today, December 20th, 2024.
All righty. The Chiefs, by the way, are activating Marquise Hollywood Brown, and he will be officially making his season debut Saturday versus the Texans. Another weapon for them, just in time. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? On December 20th, in 1967, Ian Anderson formed Jethro Tull in Blackpool, England, naming the band after an 18th century farming tool inventor. In 75, guitarist Joe Walsh joined the Eagles. In 2010, Poison singer Bret Michaels ended his VH1 reality show, Life as I Know It, by proposing to his longtime on and off girlfriend, Christy Gibson. She accepted the proposal on air, but later called off the engagement. In 97, Newfound Glory, they're pretty good, by the way, local band, released their debut EP, It's All About the Girls, which they recorded in a friend's apartment. What are they, Sunrise or something? I always get it wrong. Anyway, Cooper City or something? I don't know. In 2009, following a massive Facebook campaign, fans helped Rage Against the Machine take the Christmas #1 slot in the UK. And that's what happened today in music history, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? By the way, since I was talking about Messi and soccer, Inter Miami, little would you know, is a mess, is dysfunctional. But wait a minute, Sean, didn't we know that already? Didn't we see dysfunction firsthand? Yeah. And it's, it's beautiful to have money and have billions like they do. And it shows because you can't get out of the first round with a roster that is so loaded. No MLS franchise has ever seen it. They had the most points ever in the league history. And Messi didn't even have to play a whole season. Okay. He missed easily half the season, right, Sean? I want to say tell me how many games he played out of 32. Tell me how many games he played. I want to say he missed half the season. Okay. The guy played half the season, and they were the number one team in the MLS by far. So that's how loaded the roster is. He went off for a month, and they went like 8-2 or something like that. Yes, sir?
He played 19 matches.
Barely over. Well, wait a minute. Are they? Whoa.
It doesn't say the ones like when he came in the 60th minute or the 80th minute that one time. It just says he was in 19 matches.
Wait. 3 of those are Atlanta games, so that's 16. Are they including the postseason was my question, because then that's less than half.
It said he played in 19 matches during the 2024 regular season.
Okay, so he did play a little over half. Okay, barely over half, and he had 2 months to rest before the playoffs, by the way. 2 months to rest. The year before, he had the excuse that they ran him into the ground. Super legit. I defend them there. I ain't defending shit here, dude. I'm laughing at this. Like, how can you be this good and screw it up? And then you're constantly trading away your young guys. And yesterday, Campana gets traded to the Revolution for, because they need to open up $1.5 million. I don't know who they're going to bring in or whatever. Another person, another star. How many stars does he need? And by the way, Campana's young. Like, all these old guys are going to be gone in a year or two. You're going to need these young guys. To me, it was a screw up. Okay. The Messi stuff is fun, but it's a Band-Aid and it's not going to last very long. Campana and Kremoski and all these young guys, that's what you need to build on. And one of the things I told you, if you really want to build a fan base here, you need to do it from within. It's nice to bring Messi, fine, but you're not really building the fan base yet. You need somebody that actually is local and is going to stay here and is going to grow up here and can grow up with the generation of kids. Messi's just a hit and run. He's a mercenary. And you brought his coach and it didn't work out. And they have kind of like a country club in that place. You bring whatever players he wants, whatever coach. And what'd you do now? You brought another coach that's his former teammate and friend. And he was explaining in the press conference about having a, coach somebody you played with, and they're, could separate the two and all that. Oh, get the hell out of here. And now you're parting ways with Campana. It's just, to me, the Moss people are terrific people overall, but this is just an aggressive billionaire doing aggressive things and thinking that they're the GM also, and they're not. And they've made a shit ton of mistakes, and that's because they don't have the real decision makers, the real soccer people making all the decisions. And that's what happens. There's no skill in getting Suarez and Messi. That's just throwing money. Any billionaire can do that. Building the rest of the roster around them, that's where you needed Henderson. Building the future of your team is where you needed Henderson. Oh, well. By the way, who's the new general manager of Inter Miami? Who is it, Sean?
Mr. Lionel Messi.
No, seriously.
I don't think anybody's been announced, honestly.
But they're making transactions.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I would not want to go. I would not want to go there right now. Like, and then as you're saying, you're talking about the fan base. What is it going to look like when they actually go to Freedom Park?
It's not going to look good.
And then that place is going to look empty.
It'll look good if Messi's there, but if you don't have Messi and you're not building on any other young stars so people can gravitate to, it'll look good the first month because people want to go see the stadium. You know what I mean? The novelty of that's also going to sell a little bit. But once you go through the experience of going to the stadium and then trying to drive the hell out of that stadium, you're going to say, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. There's on so many levels.
You want to hear even more stuff, though?
Yeah.
So I looked up who's the general manager of Inter Miami CF, and it says they have two co-presidents, okay? Raul, I'm going to mess this name up, so I apologize. Senelli.
Mm-hmm.
He's the president of football operations. He previously worked with Messi, Busquets, Suarez, and Alba at Blaugrana. And then they have Orsini, who joined Inter Miami from FC Barcelona in 2021. In 2023, he's recognized as executive of the year, but that's also the year Messi showed up. So right now it's on cruise control. So I'm guessing they are pulling the strings with Moss and everybody else.
Yeah, Moss and family are making the decisions. This is what's going on. This is a fantasy soccer team, is what it is. They're playing fantasy soccer at Inter Miami. That you look at it, it's fantasy soccer. That's all. What a shame. What a shame. I know he's maniacal about winning and he wants to win, but it gets to a point where,
Oh, is there any way that this is possible? So I said, who is the GM for Inter Miami? And it came up as Javier Mascherano.
I don't know.
He coach and manage and be the general with the way everything's going.
It could be.
Like it's just a position, right? They just, here you go. You're the general manager also by name because we're all going to make the decisions.
Right. Exactly. That's all it is.
This is Oprah. You get a star. You get a star. Every executive's got a star.
It's a shame, dude. It's a shame. Oh, well, what are you going to do? What do we have here? Let's see. Messi won the Copa America against Frankie's choking Colombia. Much easier to win Copa America than the MLS. Much easier for Messi to win the World Cup and the Olympics. Much easier. Wow. It's a shame. But I thought the MLS was a garbage league with a loaded ass roster. Music trivia. There are two acts that own the biggest booking fees in music history. I'll give you one of them, Rihanna. The other one is a band. Who is it and how much is the fee? I'm just going to go with the Rolling Stones. That's it. What the fee is, I have no idea, but I'm going to go Rolling Stones. That's it. All their tickets are super expensive. Their fan base has a lot of money, okay, because on average, they're old, so they've been around, so they've been able to accumulate wealth. I'm going to go Stones. So there you go. Big O, watch Bad Santa this weekend. You won't regret it. You'll die laughing. Big O, the black background for the setup reminds me of a Dolphins funeral. That's kind of what it is for, since the season is over. Let's see. Inter Miami is freeing up cap space for Neymar. Well, I mean, I don't know if Neymar will be enough. I think you got to bring in Mbappe too. Yeah. I think you need to add Mbappe. Yeah, and Cristiano Ronaldo too. If we can do that, then I think we've got a shot at the MLS Cup. A shot. What else? Big O, Joe Walsh is such an amazing guitarist. He did some of his best work with his original band, the James Gang, yes, sir, but was more known for his time with the Eagles, of course. Yes. Well, Life's Been Good to Me was an amazing hit for him also back in the day. That also put him individually on the map. You know, James Gang obviously was phenomenal and everything he did with the Eagles. But I will say Life's Been Good to Me was a song that was, man, that shit got radio play, and it was a monster hit for him. So that really helped him as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? But I won't argue with you about what he did with James Gang or the Eagles, obviously. But yeah, man. Yeah, good shit. Joe Walsh is just amazing. Pat in Asheville says Coldplay. It's a pretty good one. I mean, with Rihanna, you would figure then he's going to say it's Beyonce or Taylor Swift, right? That's what I figured. So I just threw the stones out there because you never know. So you got the answer for us or what? What's the answer? No answer? What do we got? All right, folks, we want to thank Manny Navarro. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you who tuned in, who followed, who hit the like button, sent in a super chat, made a donation, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, or visit our amazing sponsors like Toyota of Hollywood. Go visit our friends at Toyota of Hollywood who do an amazing job right there on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan Street. Go see my man Herbie Lopez. They know how to get it done. We appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you on Sunday afternoon at 2:25 as we get you ready for the Dolphins and the 49ers. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the